So because what I want to show off is of course this new thing, which is my new mouse. There's a little bit camera transformation going on. So actually it's kind of dark, isn't it? So let's make it a little bit over bright for now. I know it looks a little bit ugly, but let's live with it. Okay, so this is the new mouse. And we first let's start with comparison. What it is? It is the HSK Pro 4K from G-Wolf. This is the mouse. This is the packaging it came with. Looks awesome. This is the company G-Wolf. It's a Chinese company, and the mouse is directly imported from China. You see the Chinese logos on stuff and so on. The mouse is tiny for stream. It's under 18. Yeah, it's a tiny mouse. Okay, so beautiful packaging. Arrives with a little bit of accessoires. I don't want to show all of the packaging stuff, but you know, as usual, it comes well packed. You know, in a preformed mold. It has some brush with it. It has this paper thingy in it, where it's safely transported, so there is not too big of a risk of transportation damage. It arrives with one cable to plug it in directly. I've already adapted the magnetic mount for the mouse. That's not delivered with the mouse, that's I put additionally. This is the usual cable, it's braided, it's quite a good quality cable. Not the lightest one, but I think it's sufficient, because it's usually only the backup if you want to charge the mouse, basically, so it's not really intended to use. Because for use, you have... It arrives with this wireless dongle. Hey Nasty, welcome to the stream. It arrives with this wireless dongle, and this is quite a special one, because it actually is a 4K dongle, so it allows a 4K polling rate for the mouse. Usual dongles do not do that. It has some, so you can peel it off and stick it somewhere. Oh, it has, no, I think it's only a rubber pad, right? It's only a slippery pad. Okay, you cannot actually stick it. Never mind that one. I need to plug it back in, otherwise I cannot move the mouse. So, yeah, this is the mouse. How it arrives. It also arrives with grip tapes you can tape on. That's what I did here. There's a color mismatch. You see the black part on top is a grip tape. It's a soft tip I put there because it was too small for me. So for size comparison, this is a Razer Viper, the Razer Viper Ultimate. Razer Viper Ultimate, the old one, the regular one. Just so you can see the size difference. So the Razer Viper is already a very flat mouse. And the SHK is actually kinda close to the Razer Viper Mini. So the Razer Viper Mini a little bit smaller than the Razer Viper Ultimate, of course. And just for comparison, for a full palm grip mouse, how this looks like. So a full palm grip mouse, of course, being the Logitech G502 or the Razer Basilisk, same size, same format. And you see they're quite different. So this is, of course, dedicated palm gripping mice, while the Razer Viper is kind of more like a claw grip or fingertip mice already for some, but it's kind of a little bit awkward because it's too flat for a real claw grip, and it's kind of too long for a real fingertip grip, so it's kind of, it's too flat for a real palm grip, so the Razer Viper is a little bit a strange one. And the SHK is a pure fingertip mouse, so there's absolutely no way you can claw grip or palm grip this regardless of your hand size. So this is like a pure fingertip mouse. And this thing holds more like a pencil than a mouse. And that's the main purpose of this type of mice, that you hold it like a pencil. This, of course, enables you to be more precise. Checking, do we have something pencil size? Yeah. So pencil or mouse, kind of, there are some similarities. Not exactly the same, of course. There is still some difference, and because you also want still to click down and not like on from the sideways, because this would always tilt your aim. So you want to click down. Otherwise, there needs to be a little bit of a difference. You cannot aim with a tablet. I tried. You have perfect aim, but as soon as you click, you miss. So you basically, if you play with a tablet and a pen, you basically need a dedicated other shooting button on your keyboard. Okay, so this is for the mouse. How it looks like when hold. So this is at least how I hold it. So you can barely fit 3 fingers on it if you're on a 1-3-1 grip, but well, I go for the 1-2-2. That's how I feel. The quality of the mouse itself is pretty trash, I have to say. So you see the clicking thingy has quite the post-travel, quite the wobble, quite the, yeah, just not very high quality. Feels more like a 30 to 50 euro mouse. So Razer Viper Mini has better quality while being cheaper than 30 euro. Of course, the scroll wheel very stiff, side buttons very stiff, but it does the job. But of course, it's a dedicated fingertip aiming device. So it's not for everyday use, for random stuff. It's really just for, well, you know, clicking heads. That's the main purpose of the mouse. Don't get any additional extra buttons. Here have the holes. Nothing else from function. One thing I have to say about this mice is that they had problems with exploding batteries in the past. Like 3 cases, I think, from the first batch delivered, and they had some big action where you could send the mouse back. Or you got a new battery delivered, and in my package there was an additional battery inside. So I have a spare battery now, and a battery tester I also got for this mouse, which is kind of nice. Anything else? Yeah, it has a PWM 3395 sensor, which is one of the newest ones, a very good sensor. It has sensor smoothing, one of the main reasons I wanted this mouse. And so from technical point of view, it has quite a good clicks. It has a PWM 3395 sensor with sensor smoothing, which I wanted to have. So it means less spikes, less jitter, basically, from sensor to data. And it has a 4K polling sensor, which is also something I really wanted. It's basically the highest end of technology, but not the highest end from the rest of quality, and you kinda still pay a lot. Like I paid 180 euro plus delivery, so it's not a cheap mice, especially for the very narrow use case. Like you cannot play anything besides first-person shooters on this. Like why would you? You get a hand-sized mouse for everything else. I would say. So it's really that you can move this very fast. But it has its advantages, which I will cover later. Is there anything specific you want to see, chat, about this mouse? Something you're interested in? Otherwise, we would go to the next topic, which is basically installing and using all the software. Okay. So, we switch our hand cam back to regular. If I find out how. I think my filter and reset did not actually work, which makes me very sad. Because I had actually went through some trouble to set it up. Now I have to do it all again for Overwatch. Sad. Oh, I also changed the filter, right? I broke it all. Oh no. Okay. Let's not panic.
Overwatch.
Overwatch. I will not go to Overwatch directly. I want to firstly show off something else. Yeah, like this maybe. Okay, it somewhat works, a little bit awkward positioned, but well, I think it's fine. So this is the homepage from the company, G-Wolves, where you can buy this mouse. So you have different color options. Of course, this is a Naniato version, white and pink. Also exists. So Naniato, if you want to be a pro Counter-Strike player, I recommend this mouse. It's pink white. Overwatch. It also comes in. So this, I think I would have actually maybe preferred this version a little bit more. I'm actually not sure which one. Yeah. So in the end, it doesn't really matter. What I wanted to do here is, so there is some information about delivery on this homepage. It took 26 days in my case for the mouse to be delivered. So they said they had some problems with COVID during New Year. If you're expecting to buy this one, please. No, I will not buy the pink one. Because then everyone will ask, oh, why did you buy the pink one? And we have to say, yeah, then you have to ask for it. So I don't want to explain this every time. So as I said, Pixart PMW, always heard it wrong, the 3395, very good sensor. Zippy clicks, 6 million clicks. Not the most famous ones. Honestly, I don't know. I would have preferred optical switches. This is something I really, I would say, regret, but there is no choice. So the only optical switch mouse with PMW 3395 sensor is Razer Viper V2 Pro, and I didn't want to have this shape again. I wanted to have something smaller for fingertip size. Because in the end, the size or the form, I would say, is nearly the most important metric about mice. Max tracking is faster than everything I need. Weight 29 grams, very light. That's one of the main points. It's very, very light. Acceleration 50G, so again, you can throw it, it will still track. So this is far slower than, so you can really, so I think the maximum speed you can actually generate with the hand is 5G or something. It's so max DPI, doesn't matter. Polling rate 5 kilohertz, like this is one of the main important things. Lift of distance I set to small with 1 millimeter. I will show in a second. And of course, power cord and USB. So the USB cable connection is not 4K. The wireless connection is 4K. You need the wireless dongle for, singing. And of course, remember it's from China, so you have different warranty and stuff, and I have even no idea how to send it back. So the customer support from G-Wolves is atrociously bad, from what I've heard. I've never tested myself. I have only communicated and asked them why my mouse takes so long, and they lied to my face 3 times. So they thought, so after 10 days, I asked where is my mouse. They asked it will be delivered on 31st of December. It wasn't. Then I asked again, where's my mouse? They said, in 2 days. 2 days went by, it wasn't delivered. So I asked again, where's my mouse? They said, you will get sending a notification in 10 hours. I didn't. But then I stopped asking. I got tired of asking because they lied to my face every single time I opened the chat with them. I have no idea why you're doing that as a company. Like, G-Wolves, stop lying. Just tell me when my mouse arrives, really. Just stop lying to your customers. It's really shameful. But besides from that, and actually when I got the tracking, it was actually empty, and the company, they sent me the link to just showed 404 code not found. So they even sent me a fake code to pretend it is in delivery while it wasn't. Just shameful. Okay, but then here in the end you have this one 4K version software, so you see it's a very good program. So if you mouse over, you don't see it for a second. This flashy button. Here's where you get the software. You don't see it now because you see only the browser. Can I change the window to Explorer? Does this work? No. How do I do that? This one? This one, I think. Yeah, I'm totally moving the download files. So the button I just showed you. So the button I just showed you downloads this to, so one file that contains this to zip folders, which I will extract. So I want to show you shortly how it looks like when you get it, because you don't get kind of like this flashy GUI, the graphical user interface for this stuff. You really get very rudimentary programs, and that is a good thing. That is something I really appreciate about this mouse. It's not this garbage trash tier software you get from Razer or from SteelSeries. You know the SteelSeries, you know my keyboard, €250 keyboard, and you get a software that installs some video capturing drivers. To program my button to do something, I install a driver for video capturing, which then limits my which then fights with my OBS for window capturing. Like, what? I want to use my keyboard. Why do you deliver? Why you require a user to log into your homepage to download a video capturing software to configure your keyboard? Like, how insane is that? Absolute madness. Absolute madness. That's why I really love that they really have very rudimentary software. So one thing I want to show first is this one. So this folder is a firmware update. So one for dongle, one for mouse. For the mouse update, you need to connect it by cable. Dongle is already connected. Just shortly show how it looks like. So you get this. As soon as you start using it, your mouse stops working. Which is of course intended because you want to do a firmware update. So I need to switch mice first. So you get this firmware updater software. You see this device connected, and then it checks the firmware version, the target version. You get buttons to click. It kind of worked for me only on the second time, but it worked. So I'm really satisfied with it. It's fully perfect. It's really minimal software. It just works normally. Like, it doesn't start through services, doesn't require internet connection. It just checks your mouse firmware and tells you what it does, and that's all. It has one button of minimal information. And that's all. Really a no bullshit experience, and I really, really like that. I wish all companies would work on this level. And now it's like this Logitech G-Hub, you know, with the software where you cannot find even the button to change your DPI. Like this garbage that the janitor can program better GUIs than Logitech for some reason. Like, insane, absolutely insane. And I really love what LeeWolf did that here with a really basic software that really does just the jobs that you wanted to do. It's really, really awesome. Okay, so the other folder, the one that I actually need now, is the software. It's again a no install software. It just starts the exe, I think. Except it didn't start. So I tested it on my laptop. It actually started and it worked fine. Maybe I clicked something wrong because this time it started perfectly. Let's change my window view to my mouse. Okay, so this is a mouse software you get from LeeWolf, like this and like this. So it just tells you which mouse is connected. It shows up as a pink one, and you can just have regular key settings, like what do you want to do on which button. But of course, it has so middle keys the mouse wheel. So you can set the DPI levels and polling rates and stuff to the buttons, which I didn't want to do. I just really want to show it. So you have this polling rate from 125 to 4K, debounce time from A to E, whatever it means. They don't want to show the milliseconds because people don't like to have higher milliseconds, so they show it like this. I don't know. Lift off is set to 1 millimeter. So if you lift off the mice, when it starts to change your cursor, honestly, so the thing about liftoff is there's actually the smaller the better, but you might have thicker mouse feet, especially if you have glass feet. They might be thick. If you have Lexip feet, they are thicker. Then you need a bigger liftoff distance of 2 millimeter. Angle snap, always turn it off. This is like if you draw a straight line, that it's really automatically straight, but it's terrible for aim. So yeah, you have a battery indicator, so it's now fully charged. On my laptop, it was blinking for some reason. No, it's not blinking now. So an LED, you can show the state. It was a LED, but it's a small LED inside. I don't even know if you can see it in the camera. There's on the bottom left side, so where you see from the bottom better maybe. There's one small LED, which is apparently an RGB LED or something. Maybe not. I honestly have no idea what it does. Maybe it does nothing. Maybe I don't have an LED. Yeah, and you can set how many DPI levels you want. DPI is of course dots per inch. It's basically how many. So how the mouse works is it just sends dots in one direction to your PC. It just says, okay, 1 dot to the left, 2 dots up, and this does this 4,000 times per second. And this DPI levels basically tell the mouse how many inches you need to move to get 1 dot. So this is 1 inch divided by 2,000, I need to move to get 1 dot. Basically, it says here. So if you set DPI level to 1,000, I need to move twice the distance to get a single dot, which then tells my game, like Overwatch, to turn by 0.173 degree or whatever. Okay, of course, quick master, the numbers are random. Okay, I just want to show shortly the software you get with it. And again, I can only say it again, perfect software. Really nailed it. Absolutely top. One of the best mouse softwares I have ever seen on the market. No bullshit experience, no services, no installation, no login to some company, no giving away your random data, no bullshit. Just what you need, and that's done perfectly. Like, you see everything, you find easily what you need to set. Like, I don't know if it has documentation, okay? I don't know, maybe you can get better documentation. This is something I really do not know. But as far as I know, you can get in different languages. So, really, I hope really Razer and SteelSeries and Logitech and all these terrestrial software companies really understand that this is the perfect, the boss tier of software. This is how it should look like, and this is what you get, and I love this very much. Okay. So that much for the mouse software review. That's the experience you get with the mouse, so you download the stuff. It works out of the box, but of course I do not know if you get the 4K polling. Okay, what's next on our list? Let me shortly check. Yeah, this one. Let's show off this one. I need to change my... So, here's a homepage called mouse polling rate test something. Skill test, apparently. I have no idea if this homepage downloads viruses, by the way, so don't go to it or go to your own risk. Just one thing I want to show off. So we have this PMW3395 sensor, and the sensor has actually a dynamic polling rate, which means if I now click to start, you see it measures 30 hertz or something, 0 hertz. If I move slightly, it measures some hertz. And the thing is, it does it because I do not move the mouse. So it only reports new positions when I have actually done something, and that is a good thing because this extends battery life. So if I start moving like crazy, you see that the polling rate goes up. They actually do not reach 4K. Actually, I have no idea. This might be a limitation of software or something. I think in theory it's capable of 4K, but I have no idea what you have to do for 4K polling, by the way. So maximum is 3715, so I guess you can reach 4K. I don't know when Sensor actually uses it. And there is, of course, other tests like double-click test and things. But as you see, there is one click. Nothing special going on. So mouse works perfectly fine. Right click as well. Middle mouse click as well. So yeah, mouse just works perfectly out of the box with the lowest debounce time, which I have set and stuff. So yeah, perfect. So that's what I wanted to show off. This 4K polling, that you really believe I have no 4K polling on the sensor. And I said I recommend to put the magnetic tip in front of the mouse, so you can actually snap to your charging cable easily. Yeah, I have actually pulled out the... So the thing is that you actually need to tilt it off to get it off the mouse. But that's how it is, it's just for a quick charge. Like with the Razer Viper, you have the charging dock, and this mouse, of course, doesn't support anything like a charging dock.